Welcome to fixitforgetit.com, where projects and ideas come together.
Hi, this is John from fixitforgetit.com. This is my Toro CCR 2450. This primer bulb, the old one got brittle, broke down. Many of you know that happens fairly often on these things. And these are little hooks that hold it in. This is a little barbed nipple that keeps it hooked up to the gas line. I've seen different methods of replacing these primer bulbs. Some folks will do what I've done here. I've taken this plate off. There are 3 5/16 bolts to get that off. You have one here, here, and here. So that comes off pretty fast and easy. Then often you'll see folks take this plate off of here, and there's some bolts down under here that you can do that. I've even seen people take this hood off and have even taken that stack off of there, that snow stack that blows the snow and directs it. And so everybody has their own method of doing this, and that's great. I wanted to do this in a way that I had to take as little as possible off of here this first time. It's the first time I've replaced this bulb. But I wanted to, the biggest deal for me was make it easy moving forward. Because I know that if this machine holds up, this isn't going to be the last time I replace this primer bulb. So what I did is I got this out of there, and let me see if I can find the tool I used for that. I just went up in there and put my hand up under here and pushed on this little spur that holds it in there, and then I used this little cat's paw to just catch it as I was pushing in on that little hook, and I pried it up out of there. It came up out of there pretty easily. Of course, you can't bring this gas line all the way up through here because Toro brilliantly made this hole too small to accommodate this gas line. That would have made replacing this bulb too easy, I guess. So once I got that out, I just took some forceps, grabbed this line, held it down. I put some painter's tape over the end of this just to make sure no debris got in there. And I then used this old Dremel tool that I have, and the first thing I did was took this little grinding stone. By the way, you can't drill this out. Your drill will just go all over the place. And I use this little grinding stone, and it's about 5/16 hole that you have to create there. So I just kept going down in there, and once I got that ground out, I then used this little, probably a 1/8 inch or so, to come in here and just knock the edge off of these spurs. And now I'm going to see if that gas line will fit up through there. And if it does, and this works out the way I believe it will, the thing I really like about doing this is there's a little work up front, probably no more than pulling all this stuff apart. But what I really like is moving forward, and I know that if this machine holds up, I'll most likely be replacing that primer bulb at least another time and maybe a couple. But moving forward, it'll be real easy for me to just take this little part off and grab the hooks and use that little cat's paw, pull this up out of here, pull the gas line loose, because it'll come right up with this, plug this little barbed spur down into there, and push that back down in, and I'm done. Well, this worked. Let me show you that. So see, that gas line will come right up out of there now. I was able to push that little barbed nipple down in there, and I'll be able to just push it down and let these little clips hook. I just reached up through here and held that line up in there as I pushed this new primer bulb down in there. But you want to be a little careful. You want to make sure that you grind these spurs off of there the way I showed you with that little 1/8 inch grinding stone. Because when you're pushing this on, this thing can travel down this way, and these little jaws can grab a hold of that. You may even want to, I don't think it would hurt much of anything if you took that back even a little farther, but you just want to make sure that these little spurs there don't cut your line. So I'm going to push this down in there and let those clips hold this thing where it's supposed to be, and we'll put it back together and see if this works. I just used this electric screwdriver and a 5/16 socket to get these bolts out of there. Then, as I showed you, use the Dremel to grind that hole out. And this thing, I don't know if you can hear that, but I can hear that gurgling down in the gas tank, so that's working great. So that's a way that you can do this without taking half the machine apart. And it's the best thing about it, in my view, is that it'll make it really easy for you to do this moving forward. So hopefully that'll be something that'll help you out. Well, it's the day after I did the original video. I pulled this Toro snowblower out, gave that primer bulb 5 pumps. The machine started right up, so it's obviously working. And I will have some affiliate links down in the description. This is John from FixItForgetIt.com, and we will see you in the next video.